What up, though? Y'all already know how I go. Make sure you smash like, subscribe, comment. I don't care what you comment as long as you comment. Let me tell y'all this story about Earth Level 2 on the east side. Excuse me, the west side, where it's open barns and dorms or whatever, right? So, the blood's kind of fractured on this yard a bit, but they together, they rolling. It's a crip over here named Linwood Loke. People really didn't want Linwood Loke on the yard. First, because he was just a crip, period. And guy, you know, there's a lot of young guys trying to prove something, and you know, the young guys want to express that they got this hate for Crips, which they really don't, because you didn't grow up around any to really make them hate you. You're not from the east side of Detroit, Ravendale, Bangerville, or you're not from East Jefferson. You haven't had no Crip oppression like that, right? Unless you like really old or whatever. But guy, you 19 years old, you don't know nothing about a Crip. Except, you know, what you see on TV, Little Baby and whoever else, Crips, Snoop Dogg. That's all you know. But regardless of all that, they told Lowe, no recruiting, no blood words. And blood word, you know what I mean by that, SLOB. It's different when you spell it. Don't ask me, I don't make the rules. No blood word, no recruiting, no clicking up. Right? So, Linwood Lowe, he keep violating this. Like, he tried to get an alliance with the GDs. Some of the GDs was messing with him. Some wasn't. You know, and that came out. Tried to recruit a guy. That didn't work out. So now he just testing the waters. And the only reason why he allowed to stay over here because he from Linwood. He know a few guys from 12th Streets, this Bloods. He know a few guys from TTG, TTO, and other little neighborhood crews. So they kind of like, you know, he cool. We know him around the neighborhood. They gave him the rules. You can stay, but you keep violating them. You pressing them. But it's the sex, money, murder guy. He's actually from New York, too, and he's a 5%er, just like most of the guys that's from New York, that's Bloods. He's a 5%er, real sharp with the tongue, articulate himself real well. People don't really like him because he think he better than everybody. He think because he got connections back to New York and can call home, he a better Blood than the 82s. He's a realer, more stamped Blood than IUTs and SMB, and, you know, it's a lot of... He'll be talking in the day room, schooling the guy about blood. And he'll take his little shots like, yeah, we lawfully sanctioned said which came from however it go. People don't really like this guy, man. And he's just too smart. You know what I'm saying? Every word is a 6-syllable word. The articulation of the attribution to the constellations of the... But he mind blowing to a guy who don't have a mind. You feel me? Who weak-minded and not that smart. He super in awe by these guys. These type of people that do this, that's overly smart, when I talk to them, I act like I'm in awe, just to keep them talking, just to make them seem like they smarter than me, or I'm super impressed by what they saying, but I'm really not, right? Old trick somebody taught me. But nevertheless, though, people don't really like Conway. That's the older guy I'm talking about, the 5%er Conway, or Bloody Seven. He had a bunch of names, right? So, you know, Conway had a recruit who was, and that's, what was his name? His real name was Leroy Jones, I believe, right? Leroy Jones. We just gonna call him Jones, all right? Because I don't remember the gang name he had. I don't remember it. Maybe it might have been Ice Burgundy or Ice. I forget, right? But we just call him Ice, all right? We just call him Ice. Leroy Jones. So anyway, Ice was on probation with 82, like he was in his trial period. Stopped doing that. Tried to be Pyru. Stopped doing that. Went to another set. Murderous Mad Dog. Nah, he figure out ain't no murderous Mad Dogs here, so every yard you gonna go to, you really gonna be by yourself. I mean, you can be the head, but you're gonna be by yourself. What's being a king without no, I don't want to say minions, but without no disciples, right? What's being a god without disciples, right? So he flip over to sex, money, murder. People feel some type of way about this guy. Feel some real type of way about Ice, right? Conway really don't like him like that. From my perspective, he really don't like him like that, but he always tried to big him up or whatever, and he always used to try to make the best with the worst that he had. I don't think he really liked him much. People want to get rid of these guys. People want to get rid of these guys. Now, Linwood Lope, he know Ice, Leroy. He know him. He put him on the floor for being a snitch. I know y'all out there like, oh yeah, well, shoot, he about to get it now. That's not always a safe bet to put somebody on the floor as a snitch. Think about it. I did the video about Mook, the Al Wu killing. Everybody say I'm wrong. That's not how it really went. Even though it's paperwork to say, like, he told 3 different times and then tried to recant by saying people threatened him. I never said he snitched. I never used those words, but I said, kind of told, kind of buried himself. You know what I'm saying? People didn't want to hear that. Not the supporters of they particular set. They always more to it than this and that. But Black and White says this: you can't be mad at a person because they interpret exactly what it's saying. But nevertheless, it could be something, I don't know, right? I heard a bunch of stories, but now I'm embroiled in a little something, maybe. I don't know, right? Just because you put a guy on the floor in the prison for snitching, if he's a vicious guy and people scared of him, they'll make every excuse in the book to look past what he done and all 30 people he got indicted. Oh man, he was only 15 at the time. Oh man, he was only 19. You know, his mama made him do it. That's before he was in the streets. Oh man, he was 30 years old. I mean, I know he was thugging for 10 years, but that's his first encounter with the police, man. He ain't really bold, dog. You gotta watch your mouth, because they scared of him. Some people in prison like that, they just scared of. But let me show you how this 2-for-1 situation unfolded. Linwood Lope put him on the floor, put the paperwork on the floor. They could front dog you about it. He a vicious young cat, and people know this. He a crash out. Vicious young cat. And he kind of challenging the throne of Conway. Even though he a new sex money murder guy. He kind of challenging the throne. He kind of being unreceptive at this point to the dude when he trying to talk to him and build with him or whatever the case may be. He unreceptive to it. This causing a lot of tension. Now, what you think they do? They go tell Conway, make them go face to face, read the word, and they make every excuse in the book why Young Dog is not a rat. Some of them believe it. The weak ones, the stronger ones don't. You know what they do? We've been wanting Dog off the yard, and it's the perfect excuse to get Linwood Loke off the yard. Hey, blood, we know you didn't snitch, bro. We interpret it this way, such and such. Yeah, well, it's cool. It's all good, man. But you can't let Dog put no dirt on your name like that. Here you go. Young boy went over there to Linwood Loke, living corridors in the cubicles, laying down, listening to his headphones, everything all good, and get butchered in there. Butchered. The guy that butchered him, Leroy or Ice or whatever his name is, right? He don't go to the hole immediately. They don't know who did it. Camera's not working all of a sudden. So they don't know who did it. Checking people's hands, going through the whole rock, trying to look for fresh scars and stuff like that. They don't know who did it. They still want Ice gone, Leroy gone. I'm not saying somebody told, but somebody told. If they don't come get you until a day and a half later, what the cameras just automatically seen back to the future or something like that, somebody went and told on him, dropped the kite. Now, let me tell you how crazy it get after this. They accuse a guy from sex money murder of dropping a kite. They're like, well, that's the only guy we seen go put something under the consulate door on a weekend. People usually don't do that. They wait till Sunday night, Monday morning. Now all this speculation going around, now all this tension going around. So anyway, sex money murder, those guys in particular, end up getting put up off the yard by 82s and some other sets. It's too many to know. Some Midwest Bloods put them up off the yard. So now First it was the 2-for-1 to get them gone. And then now you get the other 5 members up out of here with valid reasons. Behind all this, you get the crip gone, you get the set that think they're better than everybody gone, you get the mastermind gone, you get the young dog nobody really liked gone, but he a vicious guy. Needless to say, he went on to another yard. I seen him at level 5 Marquette. He in blood rotation. And people know about the paperwork and the whole situation. But young dog so vicious and put his life on the line for the mob so much and a goal and crash out. They willing to look past all this. So in prison, when you catch somebody that's a snitch or excuse me, let me not even use the term snitch. I don't even like that. Somebody that told. You catch somebody that told, it ain't always safe to put them on the floor unless you ready to do something right then and there to them. But if it don't have nothing to do with you, nothing to do with your set, nothing to do with your people, you stay up out of that thing, bro, because that could be dangerous for you. If they scared of that man, like if they scared of that man, they gonna let him get you. I want to tell this other story, but I want to make it real because I want to kind of like use examples of the actual blood set it was, because people will know who I'm talking about. Maybe even if I tell the story, they'll know, right? And that'll make it so real with the comments that it'll get, because it was a guy. He was caught on some of that stuff, right? He say, no, that ain't what it was. I was just thinking about it. Then he come back to his blood set like, I want the set back. I was just thinking about it. I was in a dark place. You know, guys was terrified to combat what he said. The one dude that did, might as well tell him now, the one dude that did combat what he said, he sends him a knife down there. Like, when you come out, let's talk about it. He sends dude. People in prison really do this. Ask for real. Get in the comments, ask. People send you a knife and say, hey, let's shoot it out on the yard. Send him a knife. Dude sends it back. Send it back. Then they hit that yard. Somebody else send it, hit the yard, it pop off. Brody come out the hop, man, ain't nobody saying nothing. Man, that's their business, bro. That's they set, bro. Shoot, dog want it back, then you know, y'all got to do that amongst yourself, man. You know what I'm saying? Just whatever y'all say, you know. Even though doggy was walking around holding hands and sliding in rooms and all that, but nobody actually seen it happen. He was just in a dark place when all this was going on. So that too, you don't put nothing gay on nobody's name unless you willing to do something about it. Because if he is gay, it ain't none of your business. Especially if I'm a GD, why do I got to tell a blood that this man's gay? It don't have nothing to do with my set. It don't have nothing to do with our friendship. If we got a friendship. Now, if we got an alliance, it might be a little something different. Like, hey, we don't want to roll with dog because he on that tip. But if it don't got nothing to do with you, you keep your mouth closed. And that's a bunch of lessons, man. That's a bunch of 2-for-1s. Peace and blessings be upon y'all. Big 5.